Okay, so what we're going to do is mark up first. So 38 mil and 70 mil. Like with the staple, I'm going to put this on the edge so I can hide it. So 38 mil, about there. 70 mil. Yeah, mark them on the edge so you can hide them later on, especially that one. Okay, so what I'm going to do this. So the book tells you to do this side first. Don't do this side first because then you can hold this side easy. The other side, if you do it, if you taper that and then try and hold it, you damage your taper. It's harder to hold. You've not got much to hold on to. Okay? So do your eye first, and then do the taper. Okay, so we're going to do the eye first. So I'm going to take that, set that down, and draw it out so it's square and it's 2 inches long. Now I've got a mark on the edge of my anvil here, which is 2 inches from there, that mark. So I can easily just put that on, and then see where I'm 2 inches. Where I'm at 2 inches. Okay, so I'm going to set down, square up, round up, and then we'll look at doing an eye on the end of here. Yeah, set down colours, bright yellow. Yeah. You should be able to do this in one heat. I won't do it in one heat this time because I'm going to be talking through it, but you should be able to set down, square up, octagonal and round in one heat. That's what you're aiming for. That's how you cut down that time. Out. Stop. Set down. Square up. I want that to be 2 inches long. It's just under 2 inches. So I'm just going to heat it up again. There we go. Out. There, sorted. Yep, that will now be 2 inches long. Knock the tip back a little bit, just make it look tidy. Okay, next thing you want to do is an octagonal. So up on its corner. Okay, so getting all the sides equal. Yeah, should be straight, parallel. All sides should be equal. Now the heat on that, it's a short heat. Yep, so small heat, nothing more than a high red, low orange. The worst thing you can do is get this too hot and then hit it too hard and it distorts. And you don't get a round then, you get an oval. Yep. That's the high red. Break off the corners that just put on. Working up and down. Doesn't matter if it's perfect, not perfectly round, okay? But it matters if it's even. You need to keep it even as much as possible. Also, it looks nicer. Yeah, shows off your forging skills. We're just going to work this around. Yeah, that'll do. So we've got the round material on the end of our bar. So how do we turn that into an eye? There's lots of different ways. Okay. We can bend it back first and then forge it round, or you can forge it round and then bend it back. The principles are the same, just different order of doing things. Again, there's no right, wrong way. In that, if it works, it works. Yeah, but it's got to work. Right. So the first thing you got to do is take off this corner here. You got to have a bit of a taper leading up to this dot here. So you want to finish that taper about an inch away from that dot. About an inch away from that, so about there. Okay, so I'm going to finish that taper about there. You can see my dot there, so I'm going to finish it about there. Now it needs to maintain the thickness. Okay, so this thickness here, it needs to maintain. So as you're working it down, you've got to work the sides in as well. Make sure you don't burn your hard work here. So you can cool it down. With this, don't take it all the way down to the bottom of the set. So you want to leave a little bit of set there. Okay, so where your round for your eye is there at the moment. Okay, we just want to do that. So you've still got a little bit of set there. Okay, you see that? You've still got a little bit of set there in order for so we can put our eye into it. Okay, so it's there like that. Don't take it all the way down to there. So it's like that. Okay, that's a no. That's a yes. Again, clean work. over the edge here. I'm just bring this out a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah. Pop that back in the fire again. Make that look nice. You need to be able to see a taper. Okay? It can't just be straight. There's got to be a taper there. Transition, a change in section. Take it back down to its parent thickness, flattening out my edges. So there is a visible taper there. Okay, you see that? Yeah, taper. Still got a little bit of a lip there for my eye to sit into, but the taper's there. Okay, so we're going to get heat on it. I'm going to do this my way because that's the way I like doing it. I'm going to curve this round this way first. I'm then going to heat up this bottom bit, curve it back, and then curve it back all the way around again. And then I've got I got a 10mm piece of bar here, which you can form the eye around. Okay, so I'm going to show you all that next. So I'm going to start over here, like the figure of 8. Okay, I'm going to curve it round. Once I got so far, I'm going to turn it over and curve it around by hand. Go on a nice heat on this. Take it up to a nice high heat. Okay, high heat. I'm going to curve it round. Turn it over. Again. Left hand up. Keep things straight. That's possible. Right, you see that there? It's not very curvy. I'm going to tip it over here. And again, just drag that tip back like we did with the figure of 8. Yeah, a little bit more. Allows me to get in there a little bit more. So I'm looking for a nice curve. Yeah, I'm looking for a nice curve. Keep things flat. Keep things straight. Okay, so I'm going to put this back in the fire again, get it heated up again. And just curve that, get that curving in just a little bit more. So once I've got it to there, what I do is I cool that bit down, knock it back. I'm going to cool that bit down. That way when I hit it, it won't distort. But first of all, I'm going to knock it that way. So I'm knocking it that way. Okay. See how it's opened up? Okay. Once I've done that, I'm then going to get another heat on it because I've done that too slowly. So I got it to there. Okay, so you can see that's in line. I'm now going to knock the whole thing back on itself. So it's the same things that the book does, essentially, but in a different order. Hold them up, you get it. Pulling the tip down because I only want the back edge hot, like that. Yep, so that tip's nice and cool now. And I'm just going to put it over there and very gently move it over to the radius edge and scoot it back so that keep things in line so you get that. Okay, so now it's all the way back there. That could possibly go a little bit more if I wanted to. Yeah, because when I force that back round, it's going to move that section. That section there is going to move. Yeah, and hopefully what we're aiming for is to get it back in line. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't, we can always knock it back. Okay. So now I'm going to get a heat over all of this and carry on curving this round and getting this bit to snuggle into that bit there. Okay. So first of all, around here, halfway, and a half. Okay. Looking for where I've got straight bits, and I'm going to pinpoint those bits and get them curved around. Yeah, keep maneuvering this around. You think it's not moving, but it does. And it's important, like the figure of 8, you don't do it too quick. If you do it too quick, then it doesn't go round, it goes for flats on it. So now I can put that in. Okay, right. So now I can put this in. And what I can do now is I can force this over a little bit quicker on that bar. Okay. Get things in line early. Get another heat on that, just make it easier. So, things with the eyes, okay? Your eyes should be 10 mil plus or minus 2. So, if an 8 fits through it, fine. Or if an 8 doesn't fit through it, yeah, you've gone too small. Yeah, if a 10 fits through it, it's fine. If a 12 fits through it, you've gone too big. Okay, so it's just a 10 you want to fit through it. If you reach that 2 inches, you'll be fine. Okay. Get in here again. Just looking to close this up now. Get my 10 mil pin. 10 mil doesn't fit through, but if I put it in here, now, if I forge this round, and come out. Okay. One eye, 10 mil will fit through it, just about. Yeah. But if your 10 mil is hard to get out, that's fine. Yeah, because your 8 mil fit through, but your 12 mil won't. Yeah, if your 10 mil only just fits through, that's still fine. Yeah. Can you see that? That's only just not 10 mil. I could open it up a little bit, but there's no point. Yeah, if it's only just 10 mil, she'll realize that, and I can realize that. So what we've got to do now is make sure that this is in line. So the center of this eye here has got to be in the center of this line here, okay, which is roughly where it is. Yeah, so we've done well there. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is cool that down. So we can hold that eye, yeah? It's a lot easier holding this eye than it is holding a taper. Okay? So now we're going to put a taper on here. So with your eye, that bit of your eye facing up, so that bit of your eye facing up, okay, you're going to then take off this bit here. Again, I'm only going to go within about an inch of here. So I'm only going to take it back to there. So I'm going to draw that into a taper like that. Same thing again, same with the staples. I'm going to take off that first and then work it back to there. Okay, and maintain the thickness. Make sure you maintain the thickness and make sure it's not flat. Also, make sure it's not twisted. So you see with all these pieces, they all lead through. Yeah. So the thing that the main aspect of the one before you'll use in the one you're on. Yeah. And the one that you're on, you'll use those aspects in the next one on. Okay. You can either use flat bits or you can use hollow bits to hold this. I think. 15 mils too big. I might use them flat. Yeah, nice high heat. Again, in the exam, you don't want to be spending too much time on this. Okay. When you're doing your ball pieces, you can. So, taking off the corner. Keeping my parent thickness. Okay. If anything, keep it a little bit thicker. Okay. So once I've got that, I'm going to draw it back a little bit more to probably about there. Careful you don't burn things now because you've made it thin. And the book, it tells you it's got to be perfectly flat, as in like the staple legs, it's got to be flat down the taper. It doesn't. You can get away with it because you're about to curve it. Okay. So once you're back to about here. Sort out any twists you get nice and early. Again, you want a nice taper on there. The only thing is getting those sides. Make sure you're keeping these sides, yeah, nice and flat and right, so right angles. If they're not, they look like that, and it'll fail on that. Here we go. Finish it off on this heat. Okay, this is what you should have now. Yeah, eye and a taper. It's all in line, still the same thickness. Yeah, that should be nice and straight. Okay, that'll do nicely. Okay. So you can see it's not particularly straight on there, but it doesn't really matter because you're going to curve it anyway. The straighter you get it, the better it looks, obviously. But when you're faced with time pressures, then that's something you can get away with. Okay, so that'll do fine. Okay, so you can see now I've got a little bit of a flap between those two, which is what I want. So when I bend it, that needs to be the bottom of my hook now. So what I'm going to do is going to bend that bit up, bend this bit up, and then bend this bit. So we're bending this bit that way, and this bit that way, and then we're bending this bit, yeah, that way as well. So it forces it back round. You'll see it in a second. We'll get that turned over. Don't make these curves, these next two curves aggressive. You want them nice and gentle curves. Okay, so use the wider bar of the bit. Get this done. So I'm actually just going to flatten this out a little bit. And over here on the wide bit of the bit, hitting off again. Okay. Nice, gentle curve. Shouldn't be really sharp. Make sure you keep things clean now, because we're approaching the end. So you've got that bit up. You can see holding on to that bit is going to be a bit of a trial. So it's a lot easier to hold on to that than it is that. So we're going to heat up the end, cool down the eye, and then bend that over as well. You can see this is a combination of a lot of elements that we have covered. You've got tapering, you've got eyes, you've got drawing out, setting down. And now you can have bending. Yeah, heat control. Got to have heat control, all these pieces. Cool your eye down. Over the same bit of the bic. Curve it the same way. Okay. Move it up a little bit. Because if you do it there, the eye's going to hit on the edge of the bit. If you do it up here, the eye's going to miss. Okay. Before you hit down on it, you get the brush. Okay. Eye off the anvil. It's important that you keep your eye off the anvil, because if you put your eye on the anvil, it's not going to go flat. And again, what she looks for in these things, is it flat? Is it level? Okay, so we should have that. Eye, curve, straight, curve. There's my dots. Right, this next bit is painful if you get it wrong. Okay. So what I've got to do now is got to put a bend going that way in it. So all I've got to do is got to heat up this bit section here, this middle section. Okay, hold it underneath the eye, like that. Okay, over here, and I'm hitting here. So up here. So there's my dot. That's the bottom of the hook. I want to hit it up here to start that curve. If I start hitting it down here, that dot will actually become the back of the hook. Okay, so draw you a little picture here. Okay. So, if I hit here, yeah, that becomes this section here, not this section down here. Okay, so if I hit here, this dot should be roughly around there. If I hit down here, this dot will turn it around here, and this will go really short compared to your eye. So this section down here should roughly be, so that should roughly be the same height as your eye. So your eye should be up here somewhere. Okay? And make sure you hit back here, past the dot. Okay, so what I'm going to do is heat up that middle bit as hot as I can possibly get it. I'm going to cool my taper down. I'm going to cool my eye down. Over here, hit in that mark I've just put. So not on the center dot, but just above, about an inch above it, about an inch and a half above it. And that forms the back of my hook, that bit back there. Okay. Obviously, the hotter you get this, the less power you have to use. The less power you have to use, the less chance of distorting the metal. Okay. Pull that down, on there, over here. There's my dot, up here. Take it nice and slowly. Yeah. As it starts to twist on me, I'm working the inside edge. Yeah, because that's going to compress, it's going to expand. I'm going to slowly work my way down to my dot. Yeah, and you can see now. Yep, there's the back of my curve. There. Yep, there's the back of my curve. There's my dot. Yeah, there's my dot. There's the back of my curve. Yeah, so now my dot's going to be right at the base. Clean. Inside edge. Inside edge. Okay, so rinse and repeat. Taking care, I'm not going to burn the tip off, I'm not going to burn my eye off, I'm not going to burn my work at all. Because if you're getting this far and then you burn it, you're just about stuffed, I think. I don't think you'll have enough time to make another one unless you work really, really quickly. Okay, so I'm looking for a good heat over this piece. There we go. Pull that bit down. So again, I'm focusing on the back edge first, back here, then working down to the bottom there. Okay. Inside edge. Okay. There's going to come a point where you won't be able to get your hammer in anymore. So we've got to change our hammer blows. So inside edge. Inside edge to get it flat. Okay, another good heat. Okay, we're not far from finishing now. Yeah. The temptation is to rush this and you end up with a nasty looking curve at the bottom of your hook. Okay. What we're looking for is a nice gentle curve all the way around. Okay. So again, go underneath. Okay. Once you get to there, you can start bringing it that way, okay? But don't overcook it. Take a little bit at a time, okay? Don't start working over the bit like this, yeah? Your inside edge will then get the slope on it and it will fail. You can't use the bit like that, okay? So you can see I've got my back corner here. My dot is somewhere near the bottom of my hook. So I need to bring this bit up now. So I need to get a heat. So localize my heat around here. Yeah, and bring that up. And that'll give me a nice curve down the bottom here. Okay, so if I pull the tip down, I don't want that to move. Okay. I'm going to hold it by that section here, put it over here, and I'm just going to put it on top. So you can see where the scale's moving, that's where the material's moving. Okay. Once I can get my round of my hammer in there. So again, keep control of it, work that inside edge. Okay. So now I've got a nice curve down here. So I need to bring it in from up here. So I'm going to cool this bit down. So I'm going to bring it in from up here and that will come up. Okay. Put heat on it. Okay. So I've localized my heat, and now I'm going to bring this in. Okay. Keep having a look at it. A little more, I think. Yeah. Inside edge, always working that inside edge when you're working it flat. Okay, so we're somewhere near. Okay, we're somewhere near. So if I can hold that up. So what we're looking at now is balance. So it should go top of the eye, middle of that section, and then through the thickest part of the bottom of the hook. So it should go through that section there. So you can see that this section, there's not enough curve in this section here. Okay? No issue at all. No issue at all. We can get a heat in there, cool the eye down, and knock that back until it comes to about there. You can see it's a little bit out. Okay, so that should be the thickest section. That should be 20 mil at least. Yeah, which it is. It's 20 mil. Do that. It's all a bit shiny. Sorry about that. So it's 20 mil. So all I need to do is take a heat in this section here, knock that back, and then we should be somewhere near completing in the finish, getting it nice and shiny. Yeah. I'm coming up for about an hour. Yeah, but I've been talking through it. So I've been wasting minutes. I can normally get these done in about 11, 12 heats. To make sure before you start hitting, you cool that eye down. Yeah, you want to cool that eye down. If you don't cool the eye down, it's going to distort. Yeah, and then your 10 mil won't fit through, and then you've got to try and sort the eye out again. And that is a complete nightmare. Okay, so cool my eye down. On here, over the bit. More. More. Get in there. It's all right. Let's have a look. Top of the eye, middle of there, bottom of the hook. Okay? I'll lift that up for you. Top of the eye, middle of there, bottom of the hook. Yeah, that's good. That's good enough. If I wanted to, I could move it out a little bit more so it hits smack on the dead center. You could get away with that being smack on the dead center there. Okay? So that's the strongest line in this piece. There's no specification on the width of that. Okay, it just needs to look good. If it's too far out, it doesn't look good. Yeah, so it should sweep round that way, come back up, and sweep back out again. Okay, so I just get a heat over all that. Give it a good brush up. Flatten it out. Yeah. All these finishing things that make your pieces look better. Okay, when you flatten out, make sure you got the eye off the anvil. Okay. So, give it a brush. Because I've kept it clean all the way throughout, it's fairly clean at the finish. So I don't have to go through any of the cleaning methods, okay? Make sure it's flat. So with the eye off the flat surface, it shouldn't wobble at all. Okay? Just give the eye clean. Okay. Set eye hook. Yeah. You look down. You look down there. That should be nice and flat. Shouldn't be tilted at all any which way. The bottom bit in here should be nice and flat, shouldn't be twisted anyway. Looking down there, shouldn't be twisted anyway. Eyes a little bit out. Just sort that. Easily cold. And then it should be flat. Yeah, on there. It's got a little bit of rock in it. There you go, I sorted it. Okay. So eye hook. And it should be in line. So that there. Yeah, all in line. Back end there could be as well. So anywhere around there. Okay, everybody all right with that?